So guys, we got delivery numbers for insurance registrations from last week. Absolutely good numbers. Also, we're going to talk about infrastructure deployment later on in this video as well. So last week, NIO delivered 3,000 vehicles, insurance registrations. That is up from 2,200 the week before and up from 2,000 the week before that. So we're on a good uptrend. And guys, keep in mind that the BAS policy change happened on the 14th. So most people are placing their orders last week and this week. And a factory order takes about 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get delivered. So that means we're not going to see the massive surge, the explosion in deliveries until April, all right? So starting in April, we're going to see a big increase in deliveries, massive increase. Now, so far this month, until March 24th, NIO has delivered 8,500 vehicles. Not super a lot, but you know, it's okay. It's all right. All right. We're seeing an uptick because some people are buying inventory cars with the new BAS policy. The new BAS policy is just a no-brainer. Such a good deal. Even the managers, like right now, before, they would never recommend people to buy the car with BAS. But now it's just so worth it. He tells everybody to buy the car with BAS. And orders are indeed exploding. And there's lots of orders. They're going to be converted into deliveries in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that's going to take a little bit of time. And we're not going to see those results until maybe 3 or 4 weeks later. So just be patient with these deliveries. And this increase in deliveries is going to last until the end of May, and that's when the policy ends. So we're going to see this nice increase in deliveries, and it's going to be quite persistent because the new policy is really, really worth it, and they're giving away so many stuff, incentives, etc. So let's talk about infrastructure, because we also got data on infrastructure. So NIO so far has a total of 6,425 charge plus swap infrastructure. So this is charging station plus swap station. That is a lot, all right? Second place, Tesla only has 2,300. So NIO almost has 3 times the amount of infrastructure that Tesla has here in China. And VW only has 1,250. XPeng has 1,018. Zeekr only has 800. So, you know, NIO is the #1 car company in terms of charging and swapping infrastructure. And this is why a lot of these other companies are trying to partner up with NIO. NIO Power is becoming huge. The value of NIO Power is just immense, all right? So not only are NIO's patents valuable, factories valuable, but NIO's infrastructure alone is worth many, many billions, all right? Each swap station costs around 3 million RMB, which is about 700,000 US dollars. So yeah, and then on top of that, you have so many charging stations as well. But what's also really interesting is the number of infrastructure deployment this month so far. So NIO deployed 265 new infrastructure so far this month. Tesla only 100, VW 99, XPeng only 19, Zeekr only 23, and you can read down the list. The other guys, they don't really put much emphasis into infrastructure. One notable name that's missing from that list is, of course, BYD. BYD has 0 infrastructure. They don't have any infrastructure. And this is also why it's very possible that they're going to partner up. And we've talked about this. The head of NIO Power, Shen Fei, hinted, he said that in March, April, there will be guaranteed a heavyweight car company joining in on the battery swap game. Now, according to past historic events that have happened, so in the past, whenever William Li compliments a fellow CEO of another car company, inevitably that car company ends up partnering with NIO. So back in around November, December-ish, NIO CEO complimented on Chery CEO and BYD CEO at what kind of tremendous and smart entrepreneurs those people are. And indeed, Chery's CEO did indeed partner up with NIO on battery swap. Geely is also like constantly being praised by NIO as well. NIO CEO, Geely CEO, and Geely CEO is so I guess so happy that he even publicly praised NIO. You know, Geely CEO praised NIO in public, and of course this was after they partnered up with NIO for battery swap. So it seems like all the big names here in China are pretty much joining in on the infrastructure game with NIO. NIO's infrastructure alone is worth billions. So if you guys think about it this way, NIO's risk of like going under, I think is virtually zero because of the fact that NIO's infrastructure is worth so much money, right? It's just it's so intertwined with the whole entire country, right? They have swap stations and they have infrastructure everywhere at prime locations, at the best locations. They have already placed it there. So it's a no-brainer for these companies to partner up with NIO. And even if it comes to the point where NIO's tight on cash and potentially are going under, which I don't think we'll get to that point, well, you could see another company swoop up NIO just for the infrastructure, all right? I mean, like, NIO's infrastructure, my personal estimate is worth like at least, all right, $3-4 billion, at least, minimum. So, you know, I look at NIO's market cap right now, I don't know, NIO's market cap is only like, what, 3 times that? So, obviously, looking at the size of NIO's infrastructure, NIO's factory, which you've also seen in my previous video, NIO's technology, and you know, they're revolutionizing the car industry, and they're always a leader in terms of processing power and everything. You know, NIO's market cap should absolutely be much, much higher. And this is a big point that people are misunderstanding. They're looking at the losses, how much money NIO is spending. They're spending money on this. 6,000 infrastructure. Do you think that comes for free? No, it does not. All right. It is their moat, and it is also where they're spending a lot of their money on. And absolutely, infrastructure helps with sales. When you go to a highway resting area and you see a battery swap station over there, and you're just looking at that swap station, and NIO's come in with 0% charge, well, with no charge almost, and after a couple minutes they come out with a full battery. Holy crap. I mean, we got a lot of people checking that out. This is quite incredible, and it's definitely advertising for NIO. And NIO's very big shift in strategy is that this year there's going to be a lot more partners joining in and building those public swap stations instead of NIO spending the money for those infrastructure. And wow, this is just absolutely incredible. Now, NIO also said that this year their focus on infrastructure is more to help with sales, which is a very nice side effect that they've noticed. So letting people know that you have swap stations is quite important, right? Especially when you're not getting the message out to potential buyers. So having those swap stations at areas where there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of eyes that might see it, that's a very good strategy to, you know, get sales going and let people know, oh my God, look at that, that's NIO, and learn more about that brand. But going forward, I do expect deliveries right now, 3,000 from last week. I expect it to keep on going up to maybe about 4,000 per week, 5,000 per week possibly. A lot of people are buying the cars, not just new customers, existing NIO owners also taking advantage of the new BAS policy to buy the car. I am also very tempted to buy the brand new 2024 version of the ET7. It just looks so awesome. But I'm holding out for the 3rd gen EC7. So NT 3.0 cars, I'm holding out for that. But some people are taking the opportunity to sell their vehicle, especially if it's a BAS vehicle. Yeah, they're getting rid of it en masse and buying a new NIO. So yeah, that's what's happening here in China. And tomorrow I'll be going to a NIO store and filming inside the NIO store, and we'll see what it's like in the stores. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.